She clinked her wine glass, smiled like she was about to tell a joke, and announced a pause on our marriage in front of everyone. Friends laughed. Someone patted my shoulder. They expected me to break. Instead, I smiled. And that smile terrified her. If you've ever been blindsided, disrespected, or made to feel small by the person who was supposed to love you, hit like, subscribe, and listen closely. Because this isn't just a marriage story. It's about power, silence, and what happens when the underestimated partner finally stops reacting. It was supposed to be a quiet Friday dinner. Nothing fancy, nothing emotional, just familiar faces and predictable conversation. Linda hosted it every year, what she called a potluck for old souls. Roast chicken in the oven, soft jazz humming through old speakers, the smell of furniture polish and cologne clinging to the air like nostalgia. I brought my bourbon-glazed ribs, the one thing I could cook without setting off a smoke alarm. Emily, my wife, arrived late. She breezed in like someone who wasn't sure she wanted to be there at all. She kissed the air near my cheek, not quite landing, like affection had become optional. That should have been my first warning. I sat beside a bowl of mashed potatoes, sipping iced tea, listening to Michael and Karen argue about lawn care. Normal, safe, predictable. The kind of normal that tricks you into thinking the ground isn't already shifting beneath your feet. Then Emily tapped her spoon against her wine glass. Once, twice. She didn't need to speak. The room froze instantly. Emily loved an audience. Always had. She smiled wide. Lipstick perfect. Confidence glowing like stage lights. I just want to make a little announcement, she said lightly. A relationship update, I guess. People chuckled. Someone whistled. Michael elbowed me like we were in on the joke together. We weren't. Emily rested her hand on my shoulder. Her nails tapped lightly, like a warning. I've decided I need a trial break. Something colder. Sharper. A thought so clear it cut through everything. If she wants a stage, I'll give her one she'll never forget. I lifted my glass slowly. Hands steady. Expression calm. Everyone waited for me to crumble. Sure, I said. Just one word. Confusion rippled through the table. Emily blinked. What? She said, laughing lightly. I nodded once. If that's what you need. Silence slammed into the room. Whispers stalled mid-breath. Someone coughed. Emily searched my face, desperately, for cracks. She found none. And in that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Control. Not forced. Not grabbed. Reclaimed. She laughed again, but this time it wobbled. Let's just pause us, she said, clinking her glass like she'd made a clever joke. Everyone chuckled. They thought I was the timid husband, the one who swallowed disrespect. I didn't blink. And that was the moment. Though she didn't know it yet, everything shifted. The car ride home was silent. Not the calm kind. The brittle kind. She slammed the door when we got inside. You embarrassed me, she snapped. By agreeing with you? I asked calmly. She stared at me, irritated, confused, like the script in her head wasn't matching the performance in front of her. I'm taking the guest room, she muttered. Take all the time you need, I said. She froze halfway up the stairs. Why are you being so calm? Because you wanted space, I replied. And I'm giving it to you. She stood there for 3 seconds too long, then disappeared down the hall. That night, I poured myself a whiskey and sat at the kitchen island. For the first time, the house didn't feel like ours. It felt like mine. And the truth settled in quietly. Something was coming. Something she wouldn't see coming. Over the next few days, she started to crack. Not loudly. Subtly. She hovered in doorways. Lingered nearby. Texted me during the day. Did you eat? How's work? What are you doing tonight? I replied politely. Briefly. And it drove her insane. On W. That pause wasn't about clarity. It was about someone else. And when I finally said the name, who is he? Her shoulders collapsed. Tyler, she whispered. The new manager. The late nights. The pause. It all clicked. You didn't want clarity, I said quietly. You wanted permission. She begged. Promised. Cried. But something had already changed inside me. She wasn't fighting for love. She was fighting for control. I'll cut him off, she pleaded. I'll do whatever you want. I looked at her, really looked at her. For years, I'd shrunk to keep the peace. Not anymore. No, I said calmly. Her face crumpled. I'm not choosing for you, I continued. You already chose. Silence. Heavy. Final. I stood up. And for the first time, I wasn't walking away in anger. I was walking forward in clarity. Marriage isn't about control. It's about respect. And the moment respect becomes optional. So does staying. If this story hit close to home, smash that like button. Tell us in the comments, who do you think was right in this husband-wife debate? And don't forget to subscribe for more real, raw relationship stories. Because sometimes the loudest power move is silence.